Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Armored Warfare with Arthur the Grouch. It's been entirely too long since I put up a video because, life happens. And as much as I do enjoy putting up videos, this is not my number one priority. But I hope that you guys have all had a wonderful Christmas and are looking forward to a exciting 2025, and hopefully it being exciting does not mean exciting in a bad way. I hope that you guys have a lot of things in the works. I know I certainly do. And that you guys are making leaps and bounds. Wait. No, that was the wrong phrase, wasn't it? Hope you guys are making great strides. There we go. Sorry, I'm still waking up. In personal personal growth, personal progression, however you want to look at it, the game of life, right? Hope you guys are leveling up. Today we're going to look at an SPG, self propelled gun. And as always, we're not going to be looking so much at the higher tiers of 7s and 8s, and don't even worry about that thing down there. That was just a rental. We're going to look today at the tier 3, the American M108. This is a tech tree tank. This is something that you'll be able to access fairly early on in the game, relatively speaking, I think. Where's this thing at? If you've begun getting into armored warfare, you've probably noticed, there we go. You've probably noticed that the way that their tech tree is set up makes absolutely no sense. As compared to something like, I don't know, War Thunder or World of Tanks. The way they have this set up doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. So here we have M108 Tier 3. This is under the I'm just going to go ahead and say Zhang Feng, but I'm 99.99 repeating percent certain that I'm saying that wrong, but heck with it. So these are various dealers that you can get. So I mean, if you think of these as car dealerships generally have more than one type or more than one make of vehicle. Excuse me. So to find the M108, you're going to come down here to the fourth bubble, this little dragon looking bubble here. And that's where you're going to find the M108 and the M109, and primarily the majority of the SPGs. So so SPGs in armored warfare do not behave the same way you would think of as they do in something like World of Tanks. I don't know if there are SPGs in War Thunder or not. It's been years since I played it, and I never really could get into it. These play a lot more like long range direct fire rather than long range indirect fire, the way you get with World of Tanks, where you have that top down view. Now, SPGs didn't always used to do that in armored warfare. when armored warfare was first really getting going, SPGs behaved a lot like the SPGs that you find in World of Tanks, where you just kind of sit in the back and rain death and destruction and chaos down upon everything out there. And then I want to say it was 2019, 2020 time frame that armored warfare did away with that. And now instead these things are basically tank destroyers, for lack of a better term. That's basically what these things are now. So you don't find a whole lot of people playing them in armored warfare anymore because they lost the thing that was unique to them, which is really unfortunate. And I really do hope that one day armored warfare will bring them back, because you know I might be unique or alone in saying this, but I do feel that having an SPG, whether in armored warfare or World of Tanks, having an SPG in the battlefield, having an SPG in the game, adds something to the game. You know, but let's just see what we're working with here, because I'm getting distracted and sidetracked, and yeah, we all know how this shit's gonna go if it continues down this rabbit hole. Basic upgrades. Now, they have changed the way the upgrade tab looks in recent updates, but it's all basically still the same. This little thing down here, which used to be classified as optional and used to be all the way down here at the bottom, is now up at the top. Why, I don't know. Maybe it was because a lot of people were seeing just these things and not bothering to go down farther. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. We have here battle hardened, which is which, for lack of a better term, is taking your tech tree vehicle and turning it into a premium vehicle. Now, it's not. It still remains a tech tree vehicle, but you are taking a tech tree vehicle and you're giving it some of the perks that a premium vehicle gets to enjoy. Now, this does cost gold, which you can buy, but you have to buy for actual money. You can occasionally, there's some kind of thing going on where that has a login bonus going on right now. That if you log in every day for a certain period of time, you can get a couple hundred gold or something like that. So there is ways to get gold from within the game without spending a dime. I'm pretty sure that I just went and bought the gold. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I went and bought the gold. I don't know. I've had this thing for entirely too long now. This is a commander, which you can unlock. She's not going to cost gold to unlock. She's going to cost experience. Whether that's you grinding out the tank and playing and gaining that experience, which will show up here, whether you've gained that experience through playing or you had free experience that you're just going to blow on that. Either way, that's up to you. They're both perfectly acceptable methods. These are reputation boosters, and what these do is, if you can see up here, right up here at the top right corner of my screen, we've got two numbers. We've got 14,391 and a gray 150,835. So the 14,000 is reputation. The 150,000 is experience. And for all of you World of Tanks players, this is the exact same thing as free experience and experience left to convert, right? So just as in World of Tanks, you have a pool of experience from all of your quote unquote elite tanks when they reach that elite status in World of Tanks, and they just start accruing free experience, whether your tank is completely upgraded and everything else. You now start accruing free experience, and then that experience can be converted by way of gold over to free experience in World of Tanks, or reputation in Armored Warfare. However you want to look at it, it's the exact same thing. So these are reputation boosters, and these are interesting. These aren't going to save your butt by any means, right? And realistically, if you already have your tank maxed out, right? If you already have this little red bar filled all the way up and you're at 100% and all the rest of your stuff is upgraded, these really aren't going to help you out, but I would definitely recommend that you get them, because even though they might not help you out, if you have the experience to blow and you're not really working on anything, I don't believe these cost a whole lot in the way of experience, but they do cost a little bit. So when you're getting up here to the very end of that grind, actually, here's a tier 4 that I haven't started working on yet. So this is a great example here. I can get a boost of 1,400 reputation each time I do one of these, but it's going to cost me 4,000 experience, or 4,000 experience. And if you have experience here in your progress bar, this will pull out of that, which is beneficial to you, because you pull 4,050 out of your experience earned here, which, yes, it does drop you down a little bit, but you pull 4,050 here and it gives you 1,400 in your reputation up here, right? Which, if you're trying to grind through the tank as fast as you possibly can, and let's just say for shits and giggles that you're, 1,000 away from this Topaz fire control system, right? You're 1,000 away from that. You can either spend it here, or go and get one of these things. Get that, and get that. Right? So, you can go and get all of these. And I would definitely recommend that you get all of these, because as you get down farther into the down this one is not a good example because this one's a premium. And this one's a rental. But you see here the difference. I mean, even though this is a rental, 27,000, an injection of 27,000 per, and it gives you 4 times. But now we're looking at 101,270 experience per purchase. And while these little things, and while these little injections aren't going to really make a substantial dent, in what that's going to cost you overall to acquire, if you have a whole bunch of lower tier vehicles and you haven't gone and gotten these, it would be worth it to go through and spend that spend that reputation, spend that free experience to go and get these. Because if you have a whole bunch, you're going to get 670, what, 1400, however many, and you just kind of keep on going. And as you can see, the higher tier you go, the more reputation you earn, but the more it's going to cost you. All right. So, whoops, wrong button. No. Jeez. So, these are worthwhile things to have. The progress boost is something that I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. Now, it shows that I've already gotten it, but that's only because I've already maxed out the tank and I've already gotten the tank that the next M series tank. I didn't go and get this one at the time. I've since gotten I think I got this tier 4 out of a box or something a couple years ago. I don't know. But the progress boost, here, let's go over to the tier 4 to show you. The progress boost, it's going to cost you gold, just as with the battle hardened. What this does is it gives you the amount of experience. It's where these are reputation injectors. This is an experience injector or reputation injector. Either way, whatever. Just what it says here. This bundle contains enough reputation to boost your vehicle to the maximum progression level. And all that's saying is that if you go and spend 500 gold on this tank, you're going to take this little red bar from, well, in my case, 0 all the way up to 100% just by clicking that button without ever having to play it. So if you're trying to speed down the line as fast as you possibly can, you don't want to bother with these things, these lower tiers, you can absolutely do that. I would not recommend that you do that, but you can absolutely do that. And that cost does not change regardless of how far you are along in the progression. So if you're at 50, 70, 80% on your progression through grinding, and you just want to say heck with it, it's still going to cost you 500. So just be aware of that. All right. M108 stock armor. We don't have any armor upgrades. This is just, well, it's just that. Tier 3. The hull and turret armor are basically the exact same thickness. Turret armor is a little thicker, but but let's be honest here, you're not going to notice a difference. At least not if something's shooting at you. Your exhaust smoke. You start off with a very basic smoke generator. A recharge time of 60 seconds, duration of 14 seconds. You have 2 smoke charges. You upgrade it, recharge time remains the same, duration remains the same, but now you have 8 smoke charges. This is a worthwhile upgrade. I mean, not that you have very many choices on upgrades. I mean, come on now. M105 millimeter M103 howitzer. Aim time of 2.5 seconds, reload time of 8 seconds. 6 degrees gun depression, 74 degrees gun elevation. it has a variety of munitions available to it, some of which are no longer quite as applicable as they were when SPG still had the top-down gameplay, that being the smoke rounds and white phosphorus rounds. So now we have 3 different colors of munitions. Orange is always going to be HE, or high explosive. Red is always going to be heat, high explosive anti-tank. AP is going to be armor piercing. That's going to be your machine gun. So primarily, we're going and you will find other colors. I believe the other color is green, which if I can find one. Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. We've got 105 millimeter L34 Hesh on this Tier 4 Premium FV433 Abbott V. And that is high explosive squash head. I'm sure that somebody in the comments could give you a better explanation of the way Hesh works than I can. In my head, I think I can figure out how it's working, but I would be the wrong one to come to for answers on that. I know that there's many other YouTubers out there with much more information about that than I can provide. This is just a game. If you want good, hard, solid, concrete answers, don't come to me. So, anyway, back to it. Our engine. I got a Detroit 8V7 1T 340 horse diesel. A max speed of 56 kilometers. Max reverse speed of 25 kilometers. Acceleration from 0 to 32 kilometers, 4.2 seconds. Acceleration from full stop to max speed, 13 seconds. Hull traverse, 17 seconds. Fire chance, 6%. And what they mean when they say fire chance is what are the chances that a hit on your vehicle is going to cause an engine fire. That's what they mean. So, realistically, there's not a really high chance that you're going to get, not a high chance you're going to get an engine fire by getting hit. Which is, I guess, a good thing. Your stock tracks. The difference between light terrain and heavy terrain. Think of light terrain as pavement, right? Hard pack, man-made surfaces, flat surfaces, that is. We're not trying to turn our SPG into Sparta-Man here. Whereas heavy terrain, you're looking at brushed area, uneven terrain, soft terrain, you know what I mean. Anything that's not a road. And the upgrade to that, we start off with 89.3% on light terrain and 75% on heavy terrain. And we upgrade that to 90% on light terrain and 76.9% on heavy terrain. Which, yes, it's not a huge difference. It's not a huge difference, but it is a worthwhile difference, especially as an SPG when we get into battle. And you will see, generally speaking, these things, they're not fast, right? I mean, just look at this thing. There's nothing about this that says, "Oh, we're going to be we're going to be a race car here. Nothing about this says race car. This says kind of dumpty 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 dump. At least that's what it says to me. Um, so we have a couple consumables loaded up right now. We've got a first aid cabinet, and we got surplus parts crate. That's really all I'm going to run in this as far as consumables because, well, frankly, I don't really play this much anymore. I mean, I do play it, but I don't play it quite as much as I do anymore. I play the Tier 5 M109 a whole lot more, and the AS90 more than I do this. The retrofits are something that are, I think, worthwhile upgrades. Especially if it's something that you plan on playing a decent amount, or you get into the battle and you say, oh, I like this, but there's this that's not that great, or there's this that's not that great, right? So we have the improved gun breech, which increases the rate of fire by 5.5%, which it doesn't really say it here, but if I take that off, we now see our reload time without that is 7.6 seconds. We have a potential damage per minute of 4,734. If we add that on, our reload time is not significantly shortened, down from 7.6. Now we are at 7.23 seconds and up to 4,981. It's not a huge difference, but it is enough of a difference that it does make the tank more enjoyable to play. Hull traverse speed, that being the body of your tank, not the turret. How fast can it turn in any one direction? You're just going to have to deal with me yawning. Increases it by 5%. Where is hull traverse? Right, with this on, we are at 18.36 degrees per second. So this thing does not turn that fast at all. We take that off, now we're down to 17.51. It's not a very big upgrade, but it's enough of an upgrade that it makes the tank more enjoyable to play. And electro-optical absorbing paint improves camouflage while the vehicle is stopped. Now you can see that I have two versions of this. One is at 5%, one is at 8%. This costs 75,000 credits. This thing costs 300,000 credits. Neither one of them is bad. That's entirely up to you as to whether or not which one you want to run. I believe that's utility. Yes. So improves camouflage while vehicle is stopped. And that is under utility. That's going to be the second line, camo while standing. I'm at 34%. I take that off. Well, that goes away entirely, doesn't it? So this, of everything on an SPG, I think this really does the most, because here we have our overall camo. All the way around. And then we put that on, and it makes us, when we're kind of sitting in the back and we're taking shots and we're doing damage, it makes us that much harder to see, which I personally think is actually completely worth it. Now, I have no idea if these two will work in conjunction with one another. Like if you were to take off this air induction pre-cleaner and put that one on there, I have no idea if that'll work or not. If it does, cool. Then you're rocking what? 8 plus 5 is a number that I don't want to think of right now. It's 13. Yeah, there we go. It's 13. Yeah, I knew that. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. All right, enough talk. I know you guys are all getting sick and tired of hearing me talking. It's like, dude, shut the hell up. Let's get into a mission. And as always, once we get into the mission, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to turn my mic off, and I'm just going to let you guys watch and come to your own decisions. I will say we're looking at a potential 36-second average wait time. So we'll see what happens. And here we go. Operation Rolling Thunder. This is actually not a bad map for this.
target.
Hostile PC.
Identify.
Hostile tank.
Food, heat.
Target immobilized.
Loader 18.
Hostile tank.
Rogue 18. Loader heat.
Target locked.
Loader heat. Identify target.
Hostile tank.
Rogue heat. Identify.
Hostile tank. Looks like we got the all clear. Airwaves are free and clear again. They're mobilized. Pull back, Black Company. It's time to take out their main forces. Good work.
So what did you guys think? You see what I mean now by kind of long-range direct fire? Now, obviously, that wasn't nearly as long range as it could have been, because that was a city map. But it wasn't horrible. I mean, it could have been significantly worse. So let's see, we've got 4,907 damage dealt, 10 enemies spotted, 5 enemies destroyed. We earned ourselves a shooter's medal. Medal awarded to a player who hit at least 80% of 20 or more shots with a total of 2,000 potential damage or more in a PvE operation. With a standard account, we would have netted ourselves 4,351 experience, 43,910 credits, and 33 battle coins. The battle coins, I'll briefly explain a little bit more once we get back out to the garage. Got 5 vehicle destruction commendations, 4 damage commendations, 1 immobilized target damage commendations, 1 spotted target damage commendation, 5 vehicle destruction assist commendation. Oh, my bad. 5 vehicle destruction commendations, 6 module destruction commendations, 4 objective completion commendations, and 10 spotting commendations. Overall, it really wasn't a bad turnout for the game. We came in second on experience earned. Second on experience earned and second on damage dealt. Overall, not too bad. We have our kills tab here. This person looks like they did actually pretty darn well. 21 kills in a tier 3 game. That's oof. That is nothing to sneeze at. Hell, even at tier 10, that is nothing to sneeze at all. This person had a very good game. 1 kill assist. Or sorry, 5 kills by me, 5 kill assists, 4,907 damage done, 10 vehicles spotted, a total of 1,485 assist damage, no epic medals earned, and 690 base experience earned. Overall, it wasn't too shabby. "22 shots fired, 18 direct hits, 13 of those hits that dealt damage. No indirect hits." And that, again, I don't know why they keep that in there anymore, because SPGs no longer have indirect fire, and 4 misses. I do like how it breaks it down by main battle tanks, lights, SPGs, TDs, and AFVs. I do like how it breaks down the amount of damage done to each type of vehicle. That's always cool. And surprisingly, I actually bounced. I actually blocked damage. Not a lot of damage, but I did block a little bit of damage. So yeah, there you go. So overall, it really wasn't a bad game, but as you can tell, you know, it's it doesn't play the way if you're coming from World of Tanks, or you're a World of Tanks player, and you're watching this, and you're thinking, oh, okay, SPGs, Armored Warfare has all these newer vehicles, has all these newer tanks as compared to like World of Tanks. You know, I I'd bet that these guys have crazy damage. Well, occasionally, but not always. But don't go thinking that SPGs in Armored Warfare play the same as SPGs in World of Tanks, because they don't, at least not anymore. Maybe one day, maybe if we can get a larger player base asking for it back, maybe they'll bring it back. I think it would bring a really cool dynamic back to the game. Oh, before I forget, battle path coins. Those 33 battle path coins that we saw at the end there. Currently, there is um, right up here at the top corner of the on the top left quadrant of the screen, underneath your premium time, is a little thing here that says Battle Path, and this is a couple month long, or several month long, I guess campaign mission would be the easiest way to say it. And this particular one, we see 3 different things here. We got Bulwark, we got Maulers, we got Remnant. And each of these contains a series of missions that you're supposed to complete in order to get the reward at the end of that said mission. You got a Seahawk crate and you got battle coin boosters. And that's the same all the way down the line. Now, what you get in the Seahawk crate is anybody's guess. Well, it's not anybody's guess. I'm sure that if they, there we go. Oh, here we go. How does it all work? Simply put, you earn battle coins by completing missions and then spend them to raise your battle path level while earning battle path premium vehicles, skins, decals, and other goodies, including a reward tank with premium status, the XK3 Phantom Tier 10 main battle tank. You can also get other premium vehicles. What do I have to do? You may simply play your battles as usual and earn battle coins to unlock the 50 available battle path levels, which contain exciting prizes, including 3 new premium vehicles. To boost your battle coin income, you can also complete special missions. The battle path campaign is divided into 4 paths or mission chains, each with a set of 6 or 5 missions. Additionally, 2 sets of tasks are also available. The battle coin missions, which deal damage, destroy enemy targets, and earn experience for battle coins, or challenges, weekly tasks, and an additional source of battle coin income. The battle coins are a unique currency required to advance through battle path levels. You can also spend battle coins on completing difficult missions without having to actually complete their requirements in the game. On the battle path screen, you can see your battle coin balance in the upper right corner. As was said earlier, there are 50 levels in total. For reaching level 50, you will earn a reward vehicle with premium status, the XK3 Phantom Tier 10 main battle tank. So it's basically, I'm not going to read this all to you. If you're interested to know what that is, I'll see if I can find a link to it on Armored Warfare's site, and I'll put it down in the description of this video. The thing with the battle path, though, I will say, the thing with the battle path, though, is that each of those missions, each of those mission chains that they're talking about, they say bulwark vehicles, mauler vehicles, remnant vehicles. There are certain vehicles that fit within those series, right? You got maulers, you got the Leopard 2A5, 2A6, Leopard Evolution, the Leopard Revolution, which is a premium, the Puma, the KF41 Lynx, the Lynx Sky Ranger, the Weasel, and the Weasel HOT. You know, you've got the Bulwark vehicles, the Leopard 1, Leopard 2, Leopard 1A5, T72A AV, T72 Ural, T72M1, and T72M4CZ. Remnant WWO Wilk, the Wilk XC8, the T72M2 Wilk, the Rosmac M1, which I don't understand why it comes up, why it's just M1 when in the game it shows M1M, but whatever. BWP 2000 and the WPB Anders. And the Seahawk is the M1128 Striker, the Bradley Fighting Vehicle, M1 Abrams, M1A1 Abrams, M1A2 Abrams, and the M1A2C Abrams. So, personally, I have a very limited number of tanks that I can use for this. Very limited number of tanks that I can use for this, and none of the tanks that I could use for that. Which kind of causes problems, don't you think? Except, let's just say we're working on Bulwark, and we are. The very first mission isn't, it shows that, but realistically, the introduction is just going to tell you, okay, if you complete all of these missions, we will give you the Seahawk crate and we'll give you 2 battle coin boosters. And these are the tanks that are available. These are the tanks that you can use to complete these missions so that you don't have to go back down over to the FAQ and look it up. So, I do kind of wish sometimes that they would put a comma in here or a period or anything to delineate where the zeros are, because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, especially early mornings when I'm half awake, I look at all those zeros and my eyes just kind of go crossed. So that's 100,000 damage. Damage to player vehicles is multiplied by 5. And basically, all that's saying, well, let me highlight it. All that's saying is that, deal 100,000 damage. It doesn't care if the game doesn't care if you complete that in PvE missions or PvP missions. If you complete it in PvE missions, that's a 1-to-1 ratio, right? So 1 damage here, 1 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. If you complete it in PvP, theoretically, and I say theoretically as nicely as I possibly can, theoretically, damage to player vehicles is multiplied by 5, right? So theoretically, if you're in a PvP mission and you shoot an enemy player and you do 100 damage, the game will record it as 500 damage. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. And it's really frustrating at times, especially when you get out of a PvP mission and you feel like, damn, that was a really good game. I did really freaking well. Pardon my French. I did really well. And then you get over here to check your progress, and it's like, what the heck? Why didn't the game record all of this? I did so much damage here. Why didn't the game record it? And unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you. I don't have a good answer. I don't even have a bad answer. Unfortunately, the game just doesn't record that information all the time. So, oh yeah, and that's another one too. Here we are. I'm working on the 3rd mission for Remnant. Eliminate 95 enemies. Each player vehicle elimination counts as 10, which is really cool. Oh wait, no, I'm working on the 4th one. There we go. Sometimes it'll count it as 10. Sometimes it won't count it at all. Sometimes it'll count it as 1 and not 10. It's. I will say it's really frustrating. But don't let it get you down. Everything here is completely doable. everything here is completely doable. Deflect 65,000 damage, bounce 65,000 damage. It sounds like bouncing that would be like ridiculously hard to do, and it's really not. Especially if you're not paying attention to it and you're just playing. If you have well armored vehicles, like not the Rosmax. Don't try and bounce damage in the Rosmax. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. If it happens, great, but don't expect to bounce damage. Um, but deal 115,000 damage. It. Yes, that's a lot of damage to deal. But if you're just playing your basic PvE games, and you know, even tier 3, I did almost 5,000 damage there in just one game. It's nothing crazy, right? But, I have, but with that one, I had to do 115,000 damage, and the Rosmax and that tank isn't available to me. So, I've got I've got a couple of things. Well, actually, for the remnants, all I've got are the 2 Rosmax. I don't have anything else because I haven't unlocked anything else. And so for me, this says, okay, well, if I want to have more flexibility in how I get this done, I need to go through and I need to see if I can unlock anything else here. And the same with that. Now, the leopard, so everything here with the exception of the revolution and the puma, I believe. Rather, no. The Puma, the Sky Ranger, and the Prototype are all reward vehicles from previous battle paths. The Leopard Evolution is a tech tree tank. The Leopard Revolution is a premium tank. So I have the Revolution and I have both of the Weasels. And then here, of all of them, I've got the most variety in the Bulwark. I've got the Leopard 1, the Leopard 2, the 1A5, the T72, the T72AV, and the T72 M1. So, I mean, of all of them, I've got the most variety here, which is kind of weird that I have the least progression in that one. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video because at this point I think I've taken entirely too much of your time, assuming any of you are actually still watching. You guys have a great rest of your weekend, a great rest of your day, and I hope nothing but the best for your new year. Take it easy.